You're cruising down the highway, music blasting, feeling like nothing can go wrong, when suddenly smoke starts pouring out from under the hood. Not from the radiator, not steam, actual fire. And you know what the scariest part is? This didn't happen by accident. It happened because there's a part in your car that's drying out right now as you read this, and it could cost you your entire vehicle if you ignore it. Stick with me until the end because I'm going to show you exactly what causes car fires, which part of mechanics almost never mention, how much it costs to replace it before everything turns to ash, and what to do in the first seconds if fire breaks out. This video could save your car, and, more importantly, it could save your life. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now, because here we talk about car mechanics in a way that no shop wants you to know. Drop a like too, it helps the channel a ton to keep delivering this kind of content. And before we get started, drop a comment down below. Have you ever seen a car on fire on the road? Tell me, because this is way more common than people think. All right, let's get into it. Everyone knows a car is a complex machine. It has an engine, electrical system, fuel system, cooling system, transmission, suspension, everything depending on everything else all the time. But there's one specific combination that, when it fails, turns a Civic, a Corolla, a Silverado, or any other popular car into a rolling bonfire. That combination is simple. Fuel plus heat plus spark. Seems obvious when you put it that way, right? But the problem is that combination could be building up in your car right now, silently, with no warning lights on the dashboard. No strange noises, not the slightest hint. And by the time you realize it, it could already be too late. So let's break down where the fire actually comes from. The first and most common cause of vehicle fires in the United States is a problem with the fuel line. Think about it. Your car has an entire system of hoses, tubes, seals, and connections that carry gasoline regular or premium from the tank to the engine. That system operates under a lot of pressure, especially in modern cars with electronic fuel injection. And that system, in most of the vehicles out there on the road, is made of plastic and rubber. Plastic and rubber that ages. Plastic and rubber that dries out from engine heat. Plastic and rubber that, over time, starts to crack, leak, and release fuel right next to the hottest parts of the engine. You know that smell of gasoline? You sometimes notice when you start the car, a lot of people just brush it off. Oh, that's normal. It's just the engine warming up. Nah, man! That's not normal. A strong fuel smell with the engine running is a red flag. It's the kind of thing you need to get to a shop that same day, not next week, not next month. That same day, but the fuel line isn't the only villain in this story. The second biggest cause of car fires is the electrical system, and that's the most treacherous one of all, because it gives no warning. No smell, no smoke before the fire. Often no symptoms at all. A frayed wire touching the body panel, a short circuit, a DIY install done by someone who had no idea what they were doing, an accessory wired up wrong. A stereo system installed at a sketchy shop that cut corners with undersized wiring. Any of that can start an electrical fire that begins small, inside some wiring channel you didn't even know existed, and spreads incredibly fast. And speaking of shoddy installs, we need to talk about the elephant in the room. Bad wiring. I'll be straight with you here. The American culture of just slap some electrical tape on it and zip tie it and call it a day when it comes to car electrical work is responsible for a ridiculous number of fires. The buddy who did you a favor wiring up your car stereo for $50 might have created a time bomb inside your vehicle. I'm not exaggerating. This happens every single day. Now, I need to tell you about a specific part that's responsible for a huge number of fuel-related car fires in the United States. It's tiny, it's cheap, and almost no driver knows it exists. It's called an O-ring. An O-ring is a small rubber seal, shaped like a ring, located at the fuel line outlet right at the engine. Its job is to seal the connection between the hoses and the fuel injection system components. It prevents fuel from leaking at that critical point, which sits right next to some of the hottest parts of the engine. The problem is, that little rubber ring dries out over time. The constant engine heat degrades the material. And when it dries out, it starts to develop tiny cracks. Fuel starts leaking through those cracks, regular or premium gasoline. That fuel drips onto the hot parts of the engine. And at that point, you don't even need a spark. The temperature of the hot metal surfaces is already enough to ignite fuel vapor. Within seconds, you have a fire under your hood. And how much does it cost to replace the O-ring before disaster strikes? According to specialized mechanics, the part plus labor runs around $20 to $30. $20 to $30. It should be replaced every 2 years on average, or anytime you notice a fuel smell. Compare that $20 to the total loss of a car worth $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 or more. Compare it to the emotional value of losing the vehicle you made payments on for years. Compare it to the risk of being inside the car when it catches fire. $20 versus all of that seems like a no-brainer, right? But most people have never even heard of an O-ring. Tell me, did you know about the O-ring before watching this video? Drop it in the comments. I want to know. And if you're finding this useful, hit that like button. It makes all the difference in keeping this kind of life-saving content going. Let's keep going. You already know the two main causes, the fuel line and the electrical system. But there's a third factor that makes both of them worse. And that factor is called deferred maintenance. And I'm going to be very straight with you here because I think you deserve the truth. Americans have a very particular relationship with preventive maintenance. Most drivers only go to a shop when the car literally stops working, when the check engine light comes on, when the noise becomes unbearable, when someone points out there's smoke coming out. Preventive maintenance, the kind you do to stop the problem before it happens, is still the exception, not the rule. And I get it. Life is busy, there are bills to pay, the car seems fine, why spend money right now? The problem is that reasoning ends up being the most expensive choice of all, because a fuel hose you replace preventively for $15 or $20 can prevent the total loss of your vehicle. An electrical inspection that costs $30 or $40 can prevent a fire you'll discover at 3 in the morning on the highway. Preventive maintenance on the fuel line means regularly checking the condition of the hoses, making sure the seals are in good shape, verifying that the clamps holding the connections are tight, and replacing the O-ring on schedule. On the electrical side, it means inspecting the wiring, especially if the car has any aftermarket accessories. Checking the condition of the wiring harness, which is the bundle of wires running through the vehicle, and making sure there are no frayed or loose wires anywhere. Right now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if my car is at risk? What signs should I be looking for? First, the smell. Any fuel smell with the engine running is maximum alert. Don't normalize it. Don't say it's just the engine warming up. That's a sign of a leak and it needs to be checked out immediately. Second, the smoke. Smoke coming from under the hood that isn't white steam from the radiator needs immediate attention. Smoke with a sharp smell, a dark color, or a yellowish tint is a sign of a serious problem. Third, electrical behavior. If your car's lights flickered for no reason, if the stereo cuts out on its own, if any electrical component acts erratically, that can be a symptom of an electrical problem that needs a diagnostic. Fourth, the smell of burning plastic. This is one of the most dangerous, and a lot of people mistake it for the smell of the AC. If you smell burning plastic or rubber inside the car, especially with AC running, turn everything off and get to a shop. But what if, despite all the prevention, fire breaks out anyway? What do you do? This is critical. I need you to burn what I'm about to say into your memory, because in an emergency situation, panic takes over and you're going to need to remember this. Automatically, if you're driving and you notice smoke or fire, the first thing is to slow down immediately and pull over to a safe location. Don't keep driving thinking you're going to make it somewhere. Stop the car. Turn off the engine. As soon as you stop, a shutoff engine cuts fuel flow to the injection system, which can reduce the intensity of the fire. Get out of the car immediately. And, I mean immediately, no exaggeration. A vehicle fire can escalate from a small flame to an explosion in under 2 minutes. Get out. Get your passengers out. Don't go back for documents, your phone, your bag, nothing. All of that can be replaced. You can't get away from the vehicle. The recommendation is to move at least 100 feet away because the fuel tank can explode. Call 911. Don't try to fight the fire yourself. Unless it's a very small, controlled flame and you have the right extinguisher. A car fire extinguisher, by the way, is not required by law in most U.S. states, but it's highly recommended. And a lot of people don't know how to use one correctly or even whether their own car's extinguisher is still good. Speaking of extinguishers, here's something most people don't know. The standard vehicle fire extinguisher in the U.S. is a Type A, B, C, which works for electrical fires, fuel fires, and solid material fires. It needs to be sealed, current, and you need to know where it is in your car and how to use it. Sounds basic, but the number of people who don't even know where their car's extinguisher is wild. Now I want to tell you about a real case to illustrate what skipping maintenance can actually cost. A rideshare driver in Atlanta, Georgia, lost 2 cars, 2 fires in less than 2 months. 2 cars. They were her livelihood, the family's source of income. In an interview, she said something that stuck. I don't know how I'm going to keep working. 2 vehicles destroyed, most likely because of problems at preventive maintenance and paying attention to warning signs. Could have prevented. This isn't fiction. It happened in real life, in an ordinary American city, to an ordinary person who just wanted to work and pay her bills. And there's another important thing you need to know about car insurance. A lot of people think that if their car catches fire and is a total loss, insurance takes care of everything. The reality is a little more complicated than that. Every insurance policy is different. Some cover fire comprehensively. Others have specific clauses, deductibles, coverage percentages. What you get reimbursed depends on what's written in the contract you signed, often without reading it carefully. In total loss cases from fire, every situation is assessed individually by the insurer. The advice here is simple. Read your insurance policy. If you don't have insurance, consider getting it. And if you do have it, understand what's covered and what isn't, especially the fire clause. But getting back to the central point of this video, the best solution will always be prevention. And prevention costs a lot less than most people imagine. I'm going to give you a practical preventive maintenance guide to avoid car fires. This isn't in any owner's manual. It's straight from the guys who actually turn wrenches for a living. Action 1 every 2 years. Or whenever you smell fuel. Take your car to a shop that specializes in fuel injection and ask them to check the O-ring and the fuel line seals. The cost runs about $20 to $30, including the part and labor. Action 2 every 2 years. Or if your car has any aftermarket accessories installed, ask for an electrical system inspection. This includes checking the wiring harness, fuses, connections, and any additional installs like a stereo, alarm, GPS, tracker, or other equipment. Action 3. Visually inspect your engine hoses at every oil change. If you don't know how to do it yourself, ask the tech changing your oil to take a quick look at the visible hoses and seals. A dry or visibly cracked hose needs to be replaced before it causes a problem. Action 4. Check the fire extinguisher in your car. Make sure it's in its place, still in date, and the seal is intact. If it's not, replace it. A new car fire extinguisher runs between $15 and $40, depending on the model and where you buy it. Action 5. Pay attention to smells. Your nose is one of the best diagnostic tools you have. Any unusual smell, fuel, burning plastic, hot rubber, anything electrical needs to be investigated, not ignored. Action 6. Never, under any circumstances, do or accept shoddy wiring on your car's electrical or fuel system. If you don't have the money to do it right now, save up and do it later. A cheap quick fix might save you $50 today and put at risk an asset worth tens of thousands of dollars, plus your life and the lives of everyone riding with you. You know what's wild? Most of these actions cost less than a standard 5,000-mile service. But people get the oil change and completely ignore the fuel line and electrical system. And before we wrap this up, I need to mention a point that almost nobody talks about. Older cars are at higher risk, not because they he worse cars, but because their materials have more years of wear on them. A rubber hose with 10 years of life that survived the scorching heat of Phoenix, the brutal cold of Chicago, the humidity of Houston, the stop-and-go traffic of the 405. And an engine that's overheated more than once is a lot closer to its breaking point than a 2-year-old hose. If your car is more than 5 years old, you need to be twice as attentive to preventive maintenance. This goes double for anyone who bought a used car. You don't know that vehicle's maintenance history. You don't know if the previous owner kept up with service or just pumped gas and crossed their fingers. One of the first things you should do when buying a used car is take it to a trusted shop for a full inspection, including the fuel line and electrical system. That upfront investment can save you a massive headache down the road. Let's recap what you learned today, because this is the kind of content you need to actually commit to memory. The main causes of car fires in the United States are problems with the fuel line, especially a dried-out O-ring and cracked hoses, defects in the electrical system, including frayed wires, short circuits, and bad installs, and shoddy wiring in either of those systems. Main warning sign for a fuel line problem is a strong smell of gasoline with the engine running. The O-ring is a small seal at the fuel line outlet that needs to be replaced every 2 years at a cost of around $20 to $30. If there's a fire, stop the car. Turn off the engine, get out immediately, move at least 100 feet away. Call 911. Preventive maintenance is always cheaper than a total loss. Bad wiring destroys cars and can kill people. That's it. Plain and simple. Now, I want to hear from you. Did you know about the O-ring before this video? Do you do preventive maintenance regularly? Have you ever seen or experienced a car fire? Tell me in the comments, because that kind of exchange is what builds and helps this community grow. If this video helped you, share it with that friend or family member you know doesn't take care of their car. You might be preventing a serious accident. The like also helps a lot. It's how you tell the algorithm. This content matters and needs to reach more drivers out there, and subscribe to the channel, because every week there's content like this. Car Knowledge or Shop won't tell you tips that save you money and information you won't find anywhere else. Hit the bell too, so you don't miss any new videos. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Take care of your car, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.